Okay, hello everybody. Bob6983 here. So there we go. I had not even clicked on pause for the video, but it's gonna be post commentary because I did not realize that I had a voice filter on my voice while recording this entire episode. This is going to be a co-op episode, as if you could not already tell from the bottom left screen. In the last episode, we took care of, I believe, the helper to hero mode. But in this episode, since I can't do co-op just by myself, I did in fact record this with somebody else. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. It is me, AstraVoiddess, back yet again to help out Bob.
Yeah, we recorded this locally, but like I said, errors, issues. So now she's helping me record post-editing as well. So it's basically just going to be the same thing, but just instead of, it actually being our normal commentary, we're going to have to do it over the video because I messed up. Here, look, this is the filter that I had on my voice.
It sounded like this, and hearing this for a very long time is not fun.
So, yeah. But I believe in the video what I did was I clicked on the 2-player adventure. If you have a copy, if both of you have copies of the game, then one person can host, the other person can join. Otherwise, if the other person does not have a copy of the game, then you can only play through Spring Breeze and that's it. So here, technically, like I said at the beginning of the game, you can play through all the modes, or just about all the modes, with a helper or with a player 2, but both of you have to have Kirby Superstar Ultra on your DS. We're going to be playing through Spring Breeze regardless. At the point of recording this, Astra had not played a single Kirby game, but, well, since we already recorded, co-op, and after we did that, we also played another Kirby game. That has changed. Yeah.
I have now a total of 2 Kirby games in the time.
Yeah. And you cannot, the helper cannot, or the player 2 cannot control anybody, or cannot control anything on the screen until Kirby creates a helper. So if you never create a helper in the mode, well then, I mean, you never get your player 2. So you have to forcefully make a player 2, actually get them to play. Anytime that they go off screen, they warp. They have the same moveset essentially as Kirby. They can press X as well to warp to you, and that's about it.
Oh, I thought I almost died there. I know I died like pretty early.
Yeah, you died a lot earlier on. Right there, what I'm doing is I'm flying in the air, but the helper, I believe, presses up on Kirby to grab onto them or latch onto them. You can also jump off of them. It's basically the same stuff that we've seen throughout our entire journey. But you can now have a player 2, do that with. And I guess coordinate. I don't think I ever get to show this off. My bad for interrupting you, but I don't think we ever get to show this off. But if your player 2 ever gets tagged, please keep that on them for as long as possible, because it's essentially Kirby, but you get to heal whenever you'd like. And you get to hide in the background when you're intangible. It's just an incredibly good ability.
I don't think we did ever do tag. I was like thinking to myself now, like, I don't actually think you died in this. I think I died in the other game.
Maybe. Give me a moment.
Me getting bombs is the best thing that happened to me that time. I will not stop throwing the bombs.
Bomb is a very fun ability, but apparently, and I didn't even know this until we tested it out in person, if the helper or Kirby's bomb explodes, depending on whoever the person was that did not detonate it, will take damage from it. The person who detonated it doesn't take damage. It just shows that they, get knocked back. but the helper or Kirby, whoever did not pull out the bomb, is the one who takes the damage.
Look at me go.
Wispy Woods is honestly pretty easy to take care of just with bomb. That honestly kind of reminds me of my first Kirby game that I covered, Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, where I breezed through Wispy Woods with Needle just because it was really easy to just defeat.
And they do the little dance and they're so happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cute.
There really isn't much else to add to this aside from just, well, I mean, it's basically Spring Breeze. We've already covered this, but just, you know, with another person. It was actually kind of interesting to see how somebody who's never played Kirby, you know, interact with the helpers, because like there's so much to control, especially in Superstar Ultra, considering that like they upgraded all of these moves. It's like ice used to be split up into two. It used to be ice and freeze, and then they just meshed the two together, gave them more movesets. Like same thing with fire. With like all the abilities in the original Kirby game, like Kirby's Adventure, or rather, Kirby's Adventure is not the original, but the original to have abilities, I think, aside from Dreamland 2. You only had one move that you could do, but in this one you had a lot. So it was very interesting to see somebody who hasn't played Kirby, you know, have control of these characters.
Well, all I did is bounce the bombs.
Yeah, right there you could see that I took damage. I don't know if you took damage for that, but you recovered HP with Chili.
I lost my bombs.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that to your helper. You could just toss your ability to them and it just changes them. We've covered this before in the series, but since you were new, I guess, you didn't really know. But I can just change your ability whenever I want if you're just in my vicinity.
That's me trying to figure out how this boss works.
This boss is easy and interesting seeing how you tackle it.
I also was having trying to press. I was pressing the wrong buttons for jump, and it doesn't help that since I started playing a different game now. I think
Yeah.
I was talking about how like I think X is the jump button in Tears of the Kingdom, and so I kept pressing X to warp instead of B to jump.
Yeah.
Which is why I kept warping to you randomly.
And like I think from that conversation we went on to say that in the first Splatoon game the jump button was X, which is honestly really disgusting because it was on like the gamepad. Like it did not feel natural, honestly, to do that.
Yeah. Been playing less. Oh, I get better now.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking to where I gotta say it again. It's not gay to kiss the homies.
To reiterate what you said
Yes.
Kirby said it's not gay to kiss the homies. Is that what you said?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That's how they keep it.
Well, I mean, that's how it is in all the Kirby games. What he does is just regurgitate the food. Or, like, not eat it all, but just have a little bit in his mouth. And he's just like, here, have some.
I like to think it's like a nice little smooch.
Well, there's been a lot of depictions in media showing, oh yeah, they do kiss or something like that. It, like, the way that it's animated, basically, yeah, that's what it is. But, like, passing on food is, like, the normal way to, I guess, look at it.
It's just normal in this strange world.
Yeah. Also, while looking at Mike there, your helper can never become any of those powerful abilities as helpers, like Mike, Crash, Paint. There is no helper for that at this point in time. I think later on, Paint becomes its own ability later on that isn't like a full-on just attack. But that is much, much later into the game. And there I go, I guess, probably explaining how Parasol's one of my most favorite abilities. And then we go into the moon.
And so you just see me holding the button, messing around with the powers.
Yeah. Very first time somebody's ever messed with Thymir.
At your mercy if we're falling.
Yeah. That area is a lot longer of a fall than I remember. Alright, I guess you can also never become naughty. I'm not sure. I've never tested it, but I would assume you cannot. Because, like, there's no way to copy it. Because Kirby... Like, you can't get rid of it on Kirby because Kirby's asleep and intangible the entire time. Or rather, Kirby can't interact with anything at that point in time, so there's no way to ever become sleep. I don't know if you could do it with tack, but I would assume not. Because, like, probably it doesn't work that way. The magic of the game.
It's like, yeah, I'm just here for the ride.
You know, maybe we should have used headphones because, like, from time to time you do get cut out. I think it's because you're listening to the stream.
Oh, do you want me to plug them in right now?
It would help. That way, you know, like for the remainder half of the video, like we can hear you more properly.
Okay, I'll get on. Give me just a minute.
Okay. I guess while she is doing that, the last portion of Spring Breeze is Mount DDD. You get to fight King DDD, one of the only characters that AstraVoiddess remembers or knows about Kirby. There really isn't much else aside from it's just Spring Breeze, but us. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try.
Let's go, King DDD. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, hopefully it goes through fine. I don't know how good the microphone on my headphones is compared to my cellular device.
It's pretty okay. I had to raise your volume just a little bit more.
Right. It's raining food.
Yeah, essentially this is like I've said this on the channel before, but Spring Breeze is kind of like it's like a mix of the original Kirby's Dream Land story, because like it's the same plot, but like not every level is in there, because like you don't get to do all the same things. Like you don't get to enter Lololo and Lalala's castle. It's not the entirety of the underwater area. It's not the entirety of like the cloud area. Like it's kind of like a pseudo version of it, where it's like it is, but it's not.
Interesting. I don't know anything about the game still, even after playing it.
Well, I mean, we only played the beginning mode of it and also mini games.
Exactly. We didn't actually play like the whole thing, so I really didn't learn anything except how to throw bombs.
Man,
and I also complained about how I didn't get a cute little dance animation here.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, in the original recording, they didn't really have the properties, or rather the time to put in an animation for each of all the helpers. There's like a ton of them in the game, so like they couldn't put all of them in there.
Disappointed.
Okay, so we do not play Kirby cards right first. I expressed very much how I dislike that game. I believe we did snack tracks first. Yes.
And I complained because you didn't let me read the instructions.
I mean, it's pretty simple. I told you, I was like, just click the things that are not food, and then you proceeded to click the things that are food.
Because I misunderstood. I'm like, click the thing that is food. I'm like, okay, click the food.
I said click the thing that is not food, and you misunderstood that. At that point, that's not my problem.
And so then I started clicking everything. You can actually see now that I'm actually like eating the food.
Your Kirby was starving.
No, not my yellow Kirby.
I think in like the, what is it? Not necessarily in like everything Kirby related, but I guess the fandom likes to call the yellow Kirby Kirby sometimes. I don't know why, but yeah, they just do.
What do they call the other one?
Oh no, I've only heard Kirby before, and that's like the yellow one.
Kirby.
I've heard Kerbo before, but I think that's just like a nickname that they usually give to Kirby.
I was like, I almost feel like the green one should be kiwi. Or not kiwi.
Kiwi. I mean, it is green. So it would make sense to be called Kiwi.
Now on the second try, I'm actually doing a lot better.
I think I still end up winning.
Because I messed up once.
Also, my bad for, not fixing the screen one when I was recording this. I think I was a little too focused on playing. But I mean, you can kind of tell what's going on. The big screen is the top screen for your DS, and then the top left is your bottom screen. I'm pretty sure you can follow along with it.
I'm like focused on the gameplay now. Yeah, I messed up right there.
I'm not entirely sure what happens when the bombs explode. I haven't been paying attention much to that.
I think you just get stunned for a bit.
And then the Kirby in last place ends up looking really sad.
That was me last match.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you can even tell how many what position you're in because of the stars on your pedestal. I didn't even realize that.
Oh. I didn't either. I didn't see it.
I don't know what I'm explaining at this point because I have both tracks muted, so I can't really tell. But I know that we go to Kirby on the draw next.
We do.
I think maybe I'm explaining that Megaton Punch and Samurai Kirby cannot be played multiplayer, even though that's kind of ridiculous because you can play them multiplayer on the original, which is Kirby Superstar on the SNES, but you can't do it on this one, which is really, really weird. I'm not sure. Maybe they just couldn't figure out like the very short lag in between the two systems. I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess we'll never know.
We will never know. But we can guess.
Yeah, it definitely looks like I'm taking a very, very long time just to decide on what to play.
But you don't like the card one, so why did it take so long to decide?
I don't know. Maybe I was explaining something else. But here for Kirby on the draw, I was explaining the rule set to her again. Because I explained it to, my people who are watching, but not to you.
In the sense I could actually know how to play and not complain about you skipping the rules.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, well, depending on the enemy that you shoot, it will give you more points. Well, D's like 10, Knuckle Joe's like 20, Kawasaki's like 30, Bonkers is like 40, King DDD and Meta Knight are like 50, 100, something like that. And if you hit any of the bombers, then you lose 50 points, and you tap the bottom screen, the rectangle, to refill your bullets. And I think that was everything I explained. I take maybe a while here, maybe because I was like, oh, well, there's level 1, 2, and 3. I'm not sure which one to do.
Twice, I think initially we do level 1.
Yeah. Oh, and Gray, this time I needed the other screen instead, and I just didn't change it. I technically could change it like post-editing, but like I'm sure like you all have already seen like not the multiplayer, but the minigame episode with Gourmet Race. Like you've all seen it, and if you haven't, I mean it's still there. You can still watch it. Nobody's stopping you from not watching it. So you're not really missing out on much aside from us two competing to see who gets the higher score. For whatever reason, the green Kirby gets a lot of them very quickly. I'm not sure how or why.
I did complain about how these CPUs seemed a little unfair.
Yeah.
It's not so obvious here in the level 1, but when we like switch to level 3, it's like, what?
Yeah, they were a little ridiculous. Like, I
It
got
was not
310
okay.
points, but like, they got 400. It would have been a lot closer because originally I hit a bomber, so I would have had like 360 points, but still, though, that's still a 40-point gap difference.
Very big gap difference.
Rare sneeze for me.
Bless you.
But yeah, depending on the level will determine, I guess, the setting where you shoot things. Because like I think they go further back into the background elements and whatnot sometimes. I think you hit a bomb
Not
right
my
there.
point. It's like not my point.
Like right there, I'm competing pretty well against the green one, and then right now it got like 400 points out of nowhere.
I know.
Like it's tapping them like the moment they pop up. It's kind of ridiculous.
So
And now they
I
have 900.
think I still got last place in both of them.
Probably. Maybe. Oh, you did.
Sad.
Yeah, like I came in second with 500. The green one came in first with 1,000 points.
See, it's rigged.
I think the developers saw that and changed it for the Switch version because on Return to Dreamland, that's also a minigame there. And they definitely made the CPUs a lot slower. And I believe here I'm just talking about how I don't want to do the card swipe because it's my least favorite of them all. And then you're probably like convincing me that like, oh no, let's play it regardless.
It's like, come on, I want to play all of them, you know? Let's go ahead and show them all multiplayer. Please.
Very long please or something.
Yep. You're contemplating very hard. You're like, eh. I convinced you. I did it. I won.
And like I went back. But yeah, I don't know why I don't like it, because like it's honestly pretty fun once you're actually in that mini game. It's just I don't know, something about it just doesn't really like catch my attention. I'm just like, oh well, I mean, it's just people competing for the card, and that's it. They made something similar to this in Return to Dreamland as well for the Switch, but it's a lot more like a platformer to grab the cards instead of, you know, just tapping on it. And if you tap on it, but like you barely miss the card, it'll show an X near it that you like failed to grab it.
That's what I think.
I actually think it's kind of interesting how the higher the level, the more kind of different cards will pop up. Like you've never seen a Wispy Woods pop up, I think, or a Heavy Lobster as one of the cards. I still don't know where that one's from, that Balloon Bomber. I want to say, like I said in the original recording, that it's probably from Squeak Squad or from Mass Attack. I want to say Squeak Squad because I'm not too sure. I've never played that game. I have it. I bought it before the eShop went down for good. It's just I haven't opened it ever. I should,
Just
though.
exists.
Yeah. It's the only Kirby game that one of my friends has played and that I have not. And he's not even the Kirby fan of the group. And to nobody's surprise, I won this one.
I've only played 2 Kirby games, neither of which I completed.
Well, I mean,
And
both of them
I own a Kirby game, which I probably should play.
you should. I've told you multiple times, it's a really beginner-friendly game. And it's like for like the anniversary of Kirby. It's very simple to get into. Like It's really nice, but I don't know. You just haven't played it yet.
You know what will happen, you know, if I do start playing it. And I need to get better about finishing games.
Yeah, she's not really that good at finishing games. She like will get near the completion of it, and then we'll be like, you know what? Let me play this other game instead. And then the inner completionist in me dies every time she does that.
I used to be really good at completing games, and then the ADHD kicked in. And I no longer had the willpower or the focus to concentrate.
I think here I'm explaining that you technically can do helper to hero and the arena and the true arena with a helper. But I mean, that is entirely up to you if you want to do that. I'm not entirely sure if the bosses become easier or harder. I would assume that it doesn't really change. But yeah, you can do like I said, all these modes essentially with a helper or with your player 2. You could do the same thing in the original Superstar, but I believe that is all from us. Thank you for coming onto the channel. We've got like 46 seconds left to, I guess, fill the void with commentary. Is there anything you would like to say? You've been a great help. Thank you.
You're welcome. There are your wise words for today.
Okay. Well, I guess since you're not going to add anything.
I can't think of anything to add. It's too much on the spot.
Okay, well, I guess
my brain shut down.
Thank you all for watching. Next episode, we will cover the true arena, and that should be the end for this series. Till next time, see you all then.
Bye.